Welcome to Talking Politics. I'm Paul Gable. I'm here with my good friend and co-host John Bond Sr.
Hey, bottom line is, Sheriff, is that we need to get more involvement, showing them that you are their friends. Did something good, Randall.
He did. He came here and agreed to be sitting on a hot seat.
We'll be back in a minute to talk more with the solicitor.
Doing that. You have such a romantic voice. Now,
Did you say romantic voice? Talking Politics. I am Paul Gable. I here with my friend. God, let's start it again. Good Lord.
Community gun violence, but we have the possibility of breaking the cycle of opiates and heroin, which are killing our children every day.
oh my God. See him bang the table.
So we're going back to the basics.
Well, the south end of the county's blowing up. Many houses coming in, a lot of people moving into the area, etc. We haven't seen your South's precinct commander out there at all.
Oh, you're not looking.
We have not seen him. I'm telling you, I'm the president of Southern Republican
And I'm
Club.
telling you, you're not looking. I'm telling you, you're not looking. Oh, you're not looking.
I'm the president of Southern Republican
And I'm
Club.
telling you, you're not looking.
And we may argue and we may fight. We will agree never to be disagreeable.
Paul's getting frustrated. Okay,
Hey, Paul. It's time for us to take a break. We'll be back in a moment to talk more with Benny. And today we are entertaining Randall Wallace at the Grease and Delight restaurant in Myrtle Beach. Randall's a Myrtle Beach City Councilman, and we'll be back to talk to him about city politics and the upcoming city election. We're just like a club over the owner's head. We got eminent domain that we will use if you don't agree to us in another fashion.
Well, it's on my phone bill. It's on my cable bill. Not that I'm griping much.
I'm Randall Wallace. I'm a Myrtle Beach City Councilman, and I spent a day here in the hot seat on the show, and I actually enjoyed it.
Okay.
How do you pronounce the name of the restaurant?
Capriccios.
Again, I just want to thank y'all for having me on the show.
And we welcome Sheriff Philip Thompson, the Horry County Sheriff. And we'll be back in a moment to talk to Sheriff Thompson about some of the programs and about his golf tournament.
Blueberry's Grill is serving up fresh breakfast and lunch daily with locally sourced ingredients. Give your taste buds a treat with our unique twists on your favorite classic foods, like our daily specials or our appetizing omelets, biscuits and gravy with fresh sausage, or our unique sandwiches and burgers. Tour the kitchen where the passion and creativity begins and discover the secret of the delicious ingredients and flawless preparation. Blueberry's Grill, located at 7931 North Kings Highway. Come as a stranger, leave as a friend.
Sugami Japanese Restaurant, Myrtle Beach's signature Asian cuisine experience. Fine entrees served in a casual atmosphere, including amazing hibachi selections prepared by expert chefs. Incredible sushi creations made to order from the freshest seafood. And don't forget their steaks, some of the best you'll find on the Grand Strand. Bring your friends and family. Stop in tonight. Sugami Japanese Restaurant, 4813 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach.
Soho is proud to present Soho 544, the beach's premier dining experience, now on Highway 544 near Coastal Carolina University. The same award-winning menu selection you've come to expect. Succulent seafood, excellent sushi, and the very best in premium steaks. Stop in for happy hour or enjoy dinner with family and friends. Fine quality dining in relaxed comfort. That's Soho. Soho 544, 1300 Highway 544 in Conway, just south of CCU.
New China Buffet, the largest Chinese buffet on the Grand Strand, boasting over 120 delicious items. 1700 Highway 17 North Business in Surfside Beach. Lunch and dinner every day, 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. The 120-item buffet includes New China's daily chef specials and our infamous hibachi and sushi bar. Start with our fresh salad bar, steamed shrimp, boneless ribs, teriyaki wings, an awesome selection of seafood, chicken, and much more. And oh yeah, don't forget to add our delicious crab legs to your buffet. The owner handpicks ingredients carefully for every dish. 843-828-1111 or www.newchinamb.com.
Welcome back. We're here with Council Member John Vaught.
Who's on the hot seat.
During the break, we discussed, I mean, John brought up the gas tax increase, and we discussed that a little bit, and I know one of the big problems that Horry County has, and has had since I've been down here for 34 years, has been getting back its fair share from the state. And I'll let you talk a little bit about how we're getting shafted on the gas tax return.
I went up to a hurricane management thing a couple of weeks ago up in Maryland, and I started getting phone calls from people back here. Because a headline in the Sun News said that I called it a drop in the bucket because the announcement had come out as to what we were going to be getting, and the fact that Horry County is going to be getting $250 million over 10 years out of a $4.5 million projected
$4.5 billion.
billion dollars over the next 10 years suspected income, and that's 5.6% of the total deal. Okay, and it's supposedly based on population per capita and that kind of thing. Well, numbers are a little bit off from what I looked up, but that's close enough. But if you look at our actual population here is about 330,000. That's full-time population. But I called up Coastal, and the people over there who do these kinds of things tell me that our average daily population over the year, based on having tourists here, is over 500,000. Okay, so why are we basing our share of this tax money, or this road tax money, on just permanent residents when we have an average population of 500,000 people here in Horry County?
Well, that's a game the state government's played with us for a long time. It's always allowed
Absolutely.
Greenville and Spartanburg and Columbia and even Charleston to grab money that we're generating.
Right.
And I agree with you, because especially in the case of roads, and you and I had this discussion, tourists harm those roads in wear and tear just as much, or maybe even more, because I don't do as much driving as I used to by any means.
Because there's too many tourists here.
Well, there's too many tourists here, and
why don't you meet with Senator Letterman?
I'm getting older, you know.
You mean
but
Governor Letterman?
The senator.
The
Senator.
Yeah.
You got three good senators here in Horry County. You got Luke Rankin, you got Embry, and you got Goldsmith.
Sure.
Now, if they can't do it, if they can't do the heavy lifting for us, for you and for us, I mean, they're being negligent in their jobs. Embry is right on top of things.
Absolutely.
Luke Rankin's been a senior member of the Senate. And you got the newcomer, Goldsmith. They should help us on these things.
I agree.
They should.
Well,
You should push them.
push the state reps.
Well,
yeah, these are preliminary
Letterman
numbers,
is
too.
right over the right next county from us in Florence. He
Yeah,
can help us.
but Hughes already got Florence County probably getting about 15% of that money,
more than
and
that.
that's
How
that's
about
the game he
25?
plays. No, but they have shafted us. They have routinely shafted us. They continue to shaft us, and that's the kind of
yet we're the
outcry
engine.
we
We're
have
the
to make.
engine that drives so much of South Carolina's economy. We really are. But see, that gets us up to, and just get back to the numbers,
Yeah.
because I don't want to waste all this time that I spent playing with numbers.
Okay, give you
That
the
gets
benefit of
us
your
up-
research.
Yeah, if we count as 500,000, rough numbers, our population, that gets us up to 10.2% of the population of South Carolina. Okay?
Right.
If you take 10.2% of the $4.4 billion, it becomes $450 million over 10 years. Okay? Now, our Ride 3 fund will generate, in 8 years, I believe it is, $600 million for the needed roads. So even if we go with the number of 500,000, it's still what I consider to be a drop in the bucket. And somebody says, well, how are you going to do it? And I said, the same way the Independent Republic of Horry County has always done it. We do it ourselves. And that's why we've had to do these ride programs.
Well, there's that, but as I've mentioned to you before too, we've gotten the state used to the fact that we'll go ahead and do ride programs. Sure. We'll raise our taxes here in Horry County that don't affect anybody else to get the roads that we feel we need, and we leave them off the hook. I don't think we should leave them off the hook.
They help the Carolina Forest area going north when they widened the road on 501 to about 4 or 5 miles. You're supposed to do it going south on 501. That was on your
Ride 3,
future road building. When is that going to happen? Is that going to happen
we've already
ever?
We've already started the planning now. It's high.
You are.
It's high
For
up.
the
I think
widening.
in the top 3 on the Ride 3 list.
Okay, that's for the widening.
Right, that'll take it to 6 lanes all the way to Red Hill.
But when you keep pounding
From
away
From
bridge?
From all the way over at the beach, from the outlets over there, where it's already 6
Yeah,
lanes.
that's what I say. From,
Yeah.
from the bridge there.
It'll be 6 lanes all the way from there, all the way to the 544 bridge.
that'll help.
It will, absolutely.
That will definitely help.
I mean, just that one lane that they put in.
Yeah, but
several
you got to
years ago
remember,
really helped.
you're going to go now in the Carolina Forest. They're coming in with more housing, 700 and then 500. That's going to be a wear and tear on the roads that are presently existing. And you know, Carolina Forest Boulevard. There's a section there that there's a two-way road.
That's on Ride 3.
It's not four lanes. It's 2 lanes.
Well, it will be 4 lanes.
But where's the planning department? Well, why is the planning department allowing this to go on? They've been negligent in their duties for so many years. They're allowing helter-skelter planning. Aren't they visionaries? Don't they see what's happening in the future? Now, you went to a conference, you just told us, with respect to the hurricanes, evacuations, etc.
Right.
That's planning. That's vision. Where's the planning board? Why aren't they doing these things?
Well, John,
Why?
you got to...
No. Let me just finish on my soapbox here. I think you have to revamp your planning department because they're doing a PP job. He's saying shafting. I'm saying PP.
Well, what I was driving at is...
Well, he didn't answer the question.
Well, just a minute. I don't want him to yet. Because we can't blame the problems in Carolina Forest on the present planning department, except those
they
people...
planned it.
No, wait a minute.
They were there when we were developing it, when they were developing the area. They're the ones that allowed all of those housing to go in there. What are you talking about? You can't blame them. Who are you going to blame them?
One member of council that was there, and that's Paul Prince. That's the
leave
change.
Paul Prince alone. He's sleeping right now. Let him alone.
Well, but my point is, he's the only one that was a member of council. Now, way back, that planning department was told, you've got yourself a potential disaster here if this development comes out like... No, we're talking back in the 90s. But they let International Paper get away with...
I was objecting to them then.
That's right. They let International Paper get away with a whole lot.
That's right.
When those plans were
to
put
it?
in.
I did. I objected to that deal that they made. You were on council then.
John was still teaching youngsters electrical engineering. I don't mean youngsters, college age kids, but they're youngsters to me. But so that brings out, and that's why I didn't want John to answer right away.
Well, that's why he's on the hot seat.
You suffer from the sins of people that went before you, both elected officials and appointed people on planning and zoning.
Janet Carter's been there since that time. She's been there. She's still there.
She?
Yes, Janet Carter.
I don't remember Janet back that
Carter
far.
Yes, he was.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Your cousin, your great uncle, he would be fighting it as well. General Boyd.
But anyway,
I sat right next to him at many meetings when he would get up there and whisper to me and say, "There to go again, spending our money, John."
And look at the fight we had over International Drive, which was totally ridiculous. We shouldn't have that fight. But International Drive aside, Carolina Forest Boulevard now is in Ride 3, but we still have massive problems in Carolina Forest. Are we going to fix them?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You're seeing some of it being fixed right now, which will be actually undone and redone with turn lanes. Because I think one of the major problems in Carolina Forest, and I go through Carolina Forest a lot, and really Carolina Forest is not in my district. But
that's Dennis DeSabato, isn't it?
Yeah, well, no, it's 4 of us. 4 of us actually have parts of Carolina Forest.
I didn't realize you went across the highway anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Post away is my limit. And
gotcha,
it goes out for Handleys and all that. And it follows that side of 501 all the way down to the racetrack. But, 4 different councilmen right now responsible for Carolina Forest. Really are. There's myself, there's Danny HOrry, there's Bill Howard, and Dennis DeSabato. Right. All of us have different pieces of it.
Dennis has a lot of it. Mm-hmm. You probably have the second.
Very little. No, I have very little of it. Very little of it.
Just
like
very
I say,
little.
Post away, yeah.
Okay. But the thing is, we're looking at, because it is a disaster.
Sure.
And what you were going to say, I think, is so much of the problem on Carolina Forest Boulevard, for one, is the left-hand turns trying to be made into the different subdivisions.
That stops traffic. It absolutely stops traffic. And turn lanes at each one of those intersections. And I don't know how long it's been known where each one of those intersections was going to be. We call them curb cuts. I don't know how long it's been that we've known those there, but that road, if we knew those curb cuts years ago, that road should have been designed with left turn lanes then.
Yes.
And acceleration and deceleration lanes.
You ever think of
those things
synchronization of those traffic lights? Because you go from one to, let's say, for instance, you go from Tanger, the stoplight at Tanger outlets.
You're talking about 501
Carolina
stoplight?
Forest. There's you get the green light at Tanger. You're going. You're picking up speed, and then you have to stop it at the next traffic stoppage, which is maybe a mile and a half away, and which is Carolina Forest. There's no synchronization of those lights. How come?
Right. I don't know. That's how.
I mean, that's something you should talk to the state about and say, hey, listen, you got to do a better job with respect to lights.
And
if
it has to be load based too, John.
Flow faster.
It has to be load based too, because the timing of the traffic through there is crazy. It all depends on what time of day it is, what that traffic load is coming through there.
It's crazy to absolutely insane. At its best time, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane when when you're in your morning or your afternoon travels back and forth.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, we all, any one of us that live down here for any period of time, dodge 501 like the plague.
Sure, you find ways to get around.
Paul was going to ask you a question. I think he forgot about the tax that we had to pay from $25
okay,
to
I wanted to address that
with respect to road
maintenance. I wanted to address that because you sort of cast it in the wrong kind of light from what it is.
I
and
did.
I need to, yeah.
No, I was giving the question to Paul.
Okay.
I didn't ask.
Well, now I've got it right.
Because I fumbled the ball, John. So it's up to you.
No,
now.
you didn't. I'm just gently reminding you. Because you gently remind me oftentimes, I'm doing the same thing.
And I appreciate that, but I want to go even further.
Go
ahead with the increase in the road.
Let's talk about what that was really all about. Everybody thinks that was to build new roads. That's not what it was all about. The second thing that's generally on our agenda and most frequently is bringing new roads into the Horry County maintenance system. Okay, these are paved roads we're bringing into the Horry County maintenance system. When a subdivision is complete, if they built their roads according to our standards, Horry County standards, and we got some pretty stiff ones as far as making the roads last long.
Did you say when a subdivision is completed,
when a subdivision
we have
is completed,
to pay for that, the roads
no,
in the
no,
subdivision?
we do not pay for them. We do not pay for them.
We have to maintain them?
They're put in. If we're requested to put them into the Horry County system, yes, we do. We bring them into our system.
Well, there you go.
They have to warrant them for 8 years, I think it is, because
there you go. The builder's getting away with it again.
Well,
not paying their fair share.
Well,
why don't you raise the building fees? Why don't you raise them for the builders?
Well,
to
they
come
already
in? Give them a little raise
they're putting
in the
in
building
they're
fees.
putting
Let
in
them
the
pay their fair share
they're
in a
putting
different
in the
way.
infrastructure. Don't you want me to answer the question?
Of course I do want to answer the question, but answer it.
I'm doing my best.
Well,
I'm having a talk
I don't
over
hear
you.
the answer I like to hear. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not necessarily going to give you the answer you want to hear.
Well, give me an answer.
Okay. The answer is somebody is going to have to pay for all of this maintenance that's going to be piling up on us because of all of these roads that are coming into our system for the county to maintain. Now, the option is, like they're having at Legends right now, the road that goes into Legends is a private road. It is beat up one side and down the other. They want to do more development in Legends. That road is private. It's not up to county standards. We can't accept it into our system, and yet it won't handle increased traffic. So there's two options. The builder can put the money forth, and I think it's about a 5.2 mile road, probably $2.5, $3 million, and bring that road up to standards and bring it, which would then handle the traffic and bring it into our system. That's one option. Obviously, the builder doesn't want to do that. The other option is to put a special purpose tax district on all the people in Legends that would be served by that road, for them to bond that money over a certain period of time, build that road, and then we could bring it into the county system. But see, increasing that tax, we looked at what is going to be our load on our system, on our maintenance system, down the road based on the rate at which we're taking in new roads. And we said, okay, if we're going to have enough money to handle that burden, to maintain those roads down the road when they are coming into needing repaving and everything, then we've got to start planning for it now, or a huge tax increase out there when we've got to have the money. And so that's why we increased the road maintenance fee, and that's what it is a maintenance fee. It's not a road building fee.
Well, but you do pave dirt roads off of that. I mean, Paul cries constantly about that, and
well, I think we're doing 100 miles as part of Ride 3 this time.
Yeah, and we've done that with Ride 3, which is raising our taxes, and the special purpose tax district would raise the property tax of those within it,
right,
a certain amount, and I guess ad infinitum, they'd effectively be. You have a special purpose tax district,
and they can ask us to take it off.
Yeah.
Once that money has been raised and spent.
That's if they just bond to bring it up to snuff, but we haven't talked about maintaining once it's up there.
No, once it's up there, then it becomes the county's responsibility, and that's where the road maintenance fee comes in.
I'm going to beg you something, because I know the road maintenance fee doesn't come close to maintaining the roads in Horry County.
Well, it does right now, and I forget what the projection is, but it's somewhere like, with this increase in fees, we can cover everything up until 2026 or 2027, somewhere along about then. We've looked at the projections based on the rate of accepting new roads, based on the life of those roads and what it's going to cost over time to do it. Now, you got two curves. You got a curve of how much money you got, and you got a curve of how much maintenance you got to spend. Those two are going to cross somewhere around 2026, 2028.
I would contend that that's not 100% accurate. I happened to be out in western Horry County yesterday, and we got roads that are messed up there effectively since 2 years ago, that first flood that you're talking about. We've got bridges that are closed and aren't, are slow in getting fixed, all of which is road maintenance to me.
Sure.
So I mean, I think, all things being equal, but all things aren't always equal.
True.
You guys just extended, by vote of council, the hospitality tax. You know where I'm going here, because I've gone with it before.
Sure.
I know there are individuals in this county, and I know those individuals are great contributors to campaigns, and I'm not necessarily saying yours, but they are great campaign contributors that want to use that money, and it's about $38 million a year that we collect on that.
I think the total is $38 million over a lifetime. You're right, $38 million. I believe you're right. Yeah,
it's $38 million a year, because we paid off 22 that way.
Sure.
Yeah. It's about $38 million a year that we get from hospitality tax, and they want to take that money, or a great portion of that money, and build a new road, I-73 in here, which frankly we've built. It's called 22, and we have a couple miles to go to Gallivan's Ferry, and you would have to do maybe $30 or so million worth of upgrades to make it interstate classified. But and I contend that's the wrong expense of that money. We have that money, and I realize it says for tourism related uses, something to that effect.
Sure.
I contend that almost every road in Horry County could be considered tourism related, because I say tourists are on most of them, if not all of them, at some point in time during each year. If we need to get a little change, we need to go to the state legislature to get maybe a few words changed here and there in the way that is. But that hospitality tax, you pay it and I pay it and John pays it every time we go out to eat, every time we buy a Coke or a cup of coffee someplace, or a dinner or what have you, when we go to the theater. I mean, we pay that. Sure, the tourists pay it, but we pay it too, and we pay it 365 days a year. We pay it if we buy stuff from the delicatessen in the food store, which aggravates me to no end, but nevertheless. But I think that the last thing we should do is be looking to new roads to that money, because we got RIDE doing that. But let's look at how we can really maintain and really upgrade what we've got first. And I would really ask you, as a council member, I know you guys voted to extend it, but we have no actual, of course we're not going to see it for another couple of years, but there's no actual purpose to it yet. That's to be decided later.
Yeah, and that was a question that brought it up. Somebody says, well, why should we have the money if we don't have a plan for what we're going to need it for? The overriding concern.
That was Harold, wasn't it?
No, I think that was
Harold Worley I was talking about.
No, that was Councilman Prince, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But at any rate, whoever it was.
And he immediately put forth a plan for dirt roads.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
Gotcha. Okay.
I can spend that $38 million on dirt roads in my district. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, but where we were then and where we still are right now on this I-73, I think everybody realizes we need I-73 for industry, for economic development. One of the main problems we have when we want to lure or entice, or whatever you want to call it, a new business in, is the fact that we don't have any kind of an interstate coming in, and so they don't have a good way to get their goods in and out. That's a major problem. That has shut us down, shut us out of several of them, different projects. So we believe there's a need for I-73. Now, when we've been working all along on the mitigation for it, wetlands mitigation and everything, to try to get that kind of thing done, and we don't know where the funding for I-73 is coming from.
That's right.
So what we wanted to be able to do was to say that we will not let Horry County's part hold this thing up if it happens.
Okay, well, and that's fine.
So the money is sitting there in case, and we don't really feel like we'll need it, but we pledged it if we have to use it for that. If we don't use it for that, we have to take it off for something else.
You haven't pledged it in the ordinance, right?
No.
That's kind of an unofficial pledge that
Right.
that really
Sure.
is non-binding.
Sure, and that's because we didn't want to be tied.
Because we have basically built I-73, and we call it 22 right
Sure.
Okay, we have a few seconds left. One quick question, 30 seconds. Are you for the expenditure of having the Blue Angels come in for
Absolutely.
the air show with respect to the airport?
Yes, I am.
So you're for that expenditure?
I am. That is not an expenditure of tax funds. That is
I just want to ask you that
Okay.
question. That was a quick question.
Sure. It's not an expenditure of tax funds, and it will be a moneymaker for the airport. So,
Lord knows the airport needs to make money, but over and above that, John and I are both former Navy men. And,
I am too.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm Air Force.
He was the Air Force. He was, yeah. I was talking about you and I, former Navy men, and the Blue Angels have a certain place, special place in our heart. But we do have to take a break here again, and we'll be back to talk to John in just a few seconds.
Yeah.
Talking politics. I'm Paul Gable. I'm here with my good friend and co-host John Bond Sr.
Hey, bottom line is, Sheriff, is that we need to get more involvement, showing them that you are their friends. Did something good, Randall.
He did. He came here and agreed to be sitting on a hot seat.
We'll be back in a minute to talk more with the solicitor.
You have such a romantic voice. Now,
Did you say romantic voice? Talking politics. I am Paul Gable. I'm here with my friend. God, let's start it again. Good Lord.
Community gun violence, but we have the possibility of breaking the cycle of opiates and heroin, which are killing our children every day.
oh my God. See him bang the table.
So we're going back to the basics.
Well, the south end of the county's blowing up. Many houses coming in, a lot of people moving into the area, etc. We haven't seen your South's precinct commander out there at all.
Oh, you're not looking.
Well, you have not seen him. I'm telling you, I'm the president of Southern Republican
And
Club.
I'm telling you, you're not looking. I'm telling you, you're not looking. Oh, you're not looking.
I'm the president of Southern Republican
And
Club.
I'm telling you, you're not looking.
New China Buffet, the largest Chinese buffet on the Grand Strand, boasting over 120 delicious items. 1700 Highway 17 North Business in Surfside Beach. Lunch and dinner every day, 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. The 120-item buffet includes New China's daily chef specials and our infamous hibachi and sushi bar. Start with our fresh salad bar, steamed shrimp, boneless ribs, teriyaki wings, an awesome selection of seafood, chicken, and much more. And oh yeah, don't forget to add our delicious crab legs to your buffet. The owner handpicks ingredients carefully for every dish. 843-828-1111.